Hi everyone, it's Conspiracies tonight. So I've just seen a post there. It's funny. Well, looks like we can do a treating conspiracies every day instead of the footy next season, since reports are coming out saying he's staying. Let me just put this once to bed, once and for all to bed. I've got to say this. If he's staying, where's his contract? If FSG, you've got to understand, I'm not saying about the legalities or whatever. The first thing that the likes of these, I don't follow these journalists, like Ornstein and Pierce and all that, Ghost, they're all phony, them. They're just going along with the narrative. It's like the narrative of Russia, for example, going against Russia, not knowing the facts. Daresn't come out with the truth, why they went into Ukraine. I'm just putting this over as I speak. Right, so they go along with the narrative. I go along. Watch a film with Jeremy Renner in. It's a cracking film. And it's called Kill the Messenger or Don't Kill the Messenger. You get it. It's brilliant. And it's the way the narrative is everywhere in the West. Watch it and see what I mean. Right, so getting back to the salute man. So they're following along with a narrative. And what's the narrative? It's not a conspiracy theory, this. What's the narrative? He's staying, just like you said. He's staying. We're getting reports that he's staying. They can't come out and say he's getting a sack at the end of it. They can't come out and say it. They cannot come out and say it, believe it or not. Because the legality that he can put up with is that I'll go now and they will have to pay him extra amount of money. Okay, so that's out the way now. That's out the way. Where's his fucking contract? If they want him to stay, they would offer him a contract. It'd come out and say he's signing a contract at the end of the season. No mention of it. They're just giving it, they're just feeding that Ghost and Ornstein. They're just coming out with what they're saying to tell you and me. They must think that we're fucking stupid, and we're not stupid. Until Ornstein and Ghost and Pierce, Doyle and the rest of them come out and say, oh, there's a contract. He's signing a contract next week for another season. There's none. There's none. He's fucking going. As soon as this season's over, as soon as June comes, his contract then, because he's got like a year contract and there's a year left, his contract will be terminated. And for people to come out and say that there's no contract with Xabi Alonso, there is contact with Xabi Alonso's agent and his handlers. So honestly, people, take no fucking notice of anything that these are coming out with. It's just to upset people. It really is, and we're all upset over it. By people saying, look, again, they can't afford to lose the fan base. If the majority, which is 90% of the fan base, want this fella gone, they will have to take notice. Why would they have to take notice? You've got to go back to X and Gillette and their phoniness. We got rid of them. I was there. I was on the steps of fucking St. George's Hall. There was thousands of people on the plateau. Thousands. I was on the steps with the lads who were getting them out. Know what I mean? So they can't afford that. And again, I'll tell you again. I keep repeating myself. When they first came in, right, what did they want banning? They wanted the banners banned. Because remember the banners, Yanks out and all that, get X and Gillette, get out. And they didn't want that. To see any fucking planes flying across Anfield, X and Gillette out. But that will happen if they, against the fans, the majority of fans, as I said, want them gone. It's upsetting a lot of people. And I know that the likes of the Boston Red Sox supporters want FSG out. They don't like them at all. And the way the economic situation is at the moment, I really believe that they're going to sell up. Because it's only going to get worse with another American by the name of Donald Trump and what he's doing in Iran. Watch it. I'll be talking about him this Friday. More depth. Hello, Frank in chat, says Edward. Hiya, Edward. They might ruin his contract. They might run his contract down or wait to see if the football improves next season. Well, I'm not going to explain again, Edward. I've just told you. The Bush Baptist. Yes, Frankie. So good to see you. I agree. Slaughter's not staying. It's just words to steady the ship for the last few games. And in a way, it's right for Mo's last few games. Yep. Good shout. There you go. And then says, all the journos are paid off. They are not Liverpool supporters, nor do they care about... No, of course they don't. They just like going on pods. I know one fella, I see him, and he's such a flip-flop. He's such a flip-flop. A journalist. And he kept saying every fucking loss we had, oh, that's bad, that, we were playing terrible. I was more or less saying he's got to go. Now because we had a fucking win against Everton. Oh, fucking hell. Everton, for fuck's sake. Everton. They're fucking awful. And we had a win against them. I made up, don't get me wrong. Oh, fucking delighted, because I was watching it today for the third time. And what they were up to. And do you think that a Scouser should be in the team? Because I do. I do. And they're saying slots, Curtis is going. Curtis is a great footballer. And they want him gone. That's a fucking big, bad mistake. That Hughes, fucking Bournemouth, to one of the biggest teams in the fucking world. He's a phony. The invisible man. He lives in fucking Bournemouth as well. Just like the slot man lives in fucking Manchester. It's annoying me. It really is annoying. I fucking mentioned it. Fed up mentioning it. And the boss says, I think we will see a going back to old tactics for the next few games, because for once players are right. Players are right. Player power to play the way they wanted, as far as, rather than the slot ball, yes. And actually, conspiracy theories usually ends up conspiracy fact. Love you, Frank. Sorry, I upset you, Frank. I just can't handle seeing him on the door. Neither can I. No one can. No one can. Look, I'm a Scouser. I'm being a Scouser, what you said to me, I'm a very, how can I put this? Look, I can't explain it without me sounding, oh, look who I am, you know. I don't want to sound like that. But ordinary people, ordinary Scousers, if anyone, an outsider who says what you said to me, Daryl, would say, fuck off, you're not a fucking one of us. If you're not going to go to the game and finish and everything else, fucking finish and go away. You're not a fucking proper... Listen, this is a local club. That's what they'd say to you. But I understand. I really understand your stance on slot, because we're all the same. We're in the same boat, every single one of us. I didn't want to fucking talk about slot. I didn't want to talk football. I really didn't. Because he's so fucking annoying. He's upsetting fans. He's upsetting the whole fan base, except a few who get little privileges off them. I could tell you the fucking few stories, but I can't on it. It'll knock you fucking sick. Oh, my fucking knee's gone, you know. I don't know what my knee. Okay, now. Falling to bits. Steve Mulholland. Correct, actually. Johan. Johan. Good evening, Frank and Legend. Smash the likes. Johan, great to see you. Getting worried about you. Getting worried. Really. With being in the Himalayas. Thought them Yetis got you, you know. They're horrible things, them Yetis, especially when you're climbing Everest or K9 or wherever you're been, you know, climbing. Those Sherpas leaving you alone as well. Freezing on the top of a mountain. You know, getting back to India and those pesky tigers running around. Just always worried about you. They hadn't heard from you in a while. Great to see you. Really great to see you. It's on me, lads. Totally my fault. Apology. No, it's not on you. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry, Daryl. Never be sorry. Not to me, anyway. Hi, Frank, you're right. FSG would love to sell us to Saudi or Musk. Musk has got friends here, family here. Did you know that? He's got family on Merseyside. Elon. Yusuf. Remember, guys, write in caps. Thank you. I don't want to. I'm fucking bending now. I look like Michael Heseltine, don't I? Fucking head on me. I really want to see Jan Diamandi. That boy is special. You've got to understand, now, we've always been a Celta bike club, right? So you want them, and, there's other people saying, oh, we want, I'd love this fella, I'd love that fella, oh, we're in talks, all the same fucking journalists, oh, we're in talks with all this crap. Do you remember Bellingham? Jude's coming in. Jude is a Liverpool player. Jude this and Jude that. Did he come here? Take no fucking notice. I've always said, myself, on a personal basis, always, I believe it, and I've said this many times. When you see the lad, whoever he is, Diamandi or fucking anyone, sitting at a desk, signing a contract, then holding up a shirt, a Liverpool shirt, that's the time I'll believe it. And I said that when that Jude Bellingham was supposed to come here. It's to detract things. People can. It's a distraction. Look at Trump. I didn't want to fucking go into this, but look at Trump. What's his big distraction? By going into Venezuela, by wanting to fucking bomb and destroy Cuba. Fucking tiny little island, Cuba. And fighting in Iran. What's the big distraction? It's the files that he's on with kids. Think about it. And when we're in for play, that's a distraction to get away from the slot, and you fall for it. Everybody, look who we're after. Oh, fucking great, isn't it? Why can't we go after Barcola as well? It's so fucking annoying. And the Bushwhackers, how the frig do you type in caps? I've got a couple of caps here. Got a few, actually. I wore one last night, I think. You know, a cap. You just press caps on your fucking. It depends on what you're doing. If you're on a, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I don't know, Baptist. And actually, why all the cap? Because I can't fucking see. I've got cataracts. Actually, I've got cataracts. I've got distant glasses on. I wear glasses, and I've got distant ones that I can't hardly see. Small print. Do you understand? Actually, fucking hell, how many times have you been told that, by the way? How many times? Unless you take no fucking notice of what anyone's saying. Michael Rajid. Hello, Michael. Nice to see you. Can anyone, if you're out there, just press the likes and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It gets my algorithm up there, up into the sky, as YouTube like. And poor Frank's fallen to bits. Costing me a fortune falling to bits, by the way. And Yusuf says it's a lot easier for Frank to read the comments. That's what. Thank you. Thank you. And Lynn's doesn't write in caps either. And she fucking tells everyone, write in caps. Write in caps for Frank. Look at it. Small print. Even if Frank, hope you're good. Defo needs a scouser in the team. Yes. Yes, Lynn. Okay, from now on, caps apart from this one. See, it's a lot easier. Look, see, it's a lot easier for me. It delights people, says John Williams. Thank you, John Williams. Thank you. And the Bush says, can I tell you something about the so-called pandemic, which is a conspiracy fact? Something me and a few of my old workmates went through. I wrote a play. In 2014, I wrote a play. And it was the very first to be produced and performed. And it was the anniversary of the First World War, 1914. So I put it on. It was a great success. Went on for a week. They wanted it to go on more, but I couldn't do it. And so I wrote a play. And it was a special play. And everything was set for the 28th of June. And the thing was booked at the same venue, St. George's Hall, actually. The venue, everything was done. We had the cast, I had the cast. I had a director and a fella who was starring in it as well. And unfortunately, with Boris Johnson and the lockdown, and everywhere that's a lockdown, I said at the time, this is control. This is a load of nonsense. These are the globalists saying, can we control the planet? Can we control the planet? And it worked for them with the lockdowns everywhere. And my play was cancelled because of it. And unfortunately, my director and whatever, a couple of years we were talking, and I said, well, we'll get it on. He said, yeah. And he died, not of COVID. He died of that prostate cancer, unfortunately. And I haven't put it on since. I haven't put it on. And if you want to know the title of it, it's called A Reflection of Dickens. That's Charles Dickens. And it's about a fella, a Liverpool lad, who was born in a workhouse. And what he done in between is incredible. The lad born in a workhouse, Liverpool workhouse, that is. Oh, my leg. My knee, it's terrible, you know. Cedric Lopez, legend. Great to see you. And he says hello to the chat. And Michael Rajid says, Frank, look at my PFP. You're an Evertonian, lad. Your friend sent me it. Fucking hell. Did you read that? Frank, look at my PFP. You're an Evertonian, lad. Your friend sent me it. What's a fucking PFP? Me an Evertonian. Right, okay. All right, if you say so. If your fucking friends say so, lad. Fair enough. I can't believe these fucking comments. Brian. Hiya, Brian. How's Franco Baresi? That's what Argera calls me. He always call me Frank, just Baresi. Today, Steven Gerrard. Steve Mulholland. Great to see you, Johan. Oh, that's great to acknowledge Johan here. And Michael Rajid says, profile pic, I mean. Oh, I see. My profile pic. My profile. I can't fucking throw it up, unfortunately. I can't throw it up. I don't even know where my phone is. One of my profile pics is I've got Shakespeare behind me, Othello, and that. That's my profile pic, or it should be. And another one is I was filming, and I've got a pair of sunglasses on, but I was filming. Does that make me an Evertonian? Your mate sent you there. Something the fucking mate says. And the Bush Baptist. I work for the local authority. Thanks for putting us in caps, Bush. Fucking. I work for the local authority not too far from you. 6 months before the pandemic. We had a pandemic training and work. We were timed in full hazmat suits. How long it would take us to dig a mass grave. Oh, my leg. It's mad, isn't it? It was all, what you call, it was all, it was scaremongering. You know, people have heard of scaremongering, haven't they? So they scared people. I never forgive governments for that, especially Boris Johnson. I've seen people go into like sheltered accommodation or, you know, where their elderly parents were and talking to them through a window, not touch it, nothing. And I remember some fella, his brother had died, and only 6 could go to the grave, or 5 or 6, and he couldn't go because he had a big family and he had lotteries who should go to the graveside. That's disgusting. That's what was happening. That was happening. And people were dying, but they weren't dying of COVID, but they were putting it on that it was COVID. And that's not a conspiracy theory either. That Michael Radji, that's a conspiracy theory. I'm a Evertonian. And Johan, good evening. And to Stephen Mulholland, I saw your post unscrolled about what the maniacs did to the Jesus statue in Lebanon. Oh. See, Lebanon as Christians and Muslims, and it's shocking what they're doing. I'm talking about the Israelis, by the way. Diamandi is in talks with PSG already. Is he really going to choose playing for the DJ instead of Enrique? Says the N. There you go. Bang. Nutshell. See, you're having these fucking people. They take notice of... As I said, N, thank you. It's a distraction from what's going on. trying to pull away from the fans, calling for slot. And no one can see it. I can. A few other people most probably can see it. And Phil, even and Frank and everyone. And Brian, Franco, is the footy show tonight or conspiracy? No, the footy show is on Thursday. It's the conspiracy. Someone came on and said, so we had to go along with it, and everyone's talking about it. Brian. Except Sue's story. And she just calms everything down by saying, evening, Frank, evening, Sue. Hope you're well, sweetheart. And Brian said, my dad phones down one morning and says to me, Brian, your mate in Liverpool was right. Put the news out. Put the news on. America hits Venezuela. Wait till they get a little Cuba. Fucking shocking what they're doing to Cuba. What they're going to do. They're starving them now. People are not saying nothing. Americans, I'm not talking ordinary Americans, by the way. I'm just talking their politicians. They love starving people. They're starving their fucking own. Believe it or not. You want to see the state, they say about drugs. And they don't want any drugs flown in or nothing. Have a look at a film called Kill the Messenger. Or Jeremy Renner. It's a true story. It's a true story about an investigative reporter who exposed the CIA. Just watch it. I haven't given anything away because it comes right at the beginning. Watch it. And that's what's happening today with journalists. In other words, you've got to follow the narrative. If you don't follow the narrative, you're in grave danger. I've always said that. It's like our football journalists. Grave danger. What's the conspiracy tonight? I'll be doing it in a moment. I'll be doing it, so don't worry. It's a good one, actually. Eddie Walsh. Hiya, Eddie. Caps lock. Oh. Great to see you, Ed. For 45 years, no, 50, I was calling Edwards Welch Tommy. I called him, honestly. No matter where it was, whether it was in a pub, whether he was out with his wife, whether I just seen him anywhere. All right, Tom. All right, Frank. How are you? Oh. And it wasn't until I was in Sainsbury's with my daughter, Francie, shopping. She brings me shopping, you see. And I seen Eddie with his lovely wife, Teresa. See, the thing is, I know his family. I know where Teresa's family. We grew up in the same place. We're neighbours. And anyway, I said to him, how are you, Tommy? And Teresa just looked, and he just said, I'm all right. This is in the fucking aisles of Sainsbury's. And that Francine said, his name's Eddie. And I went, oh. And he just looked at me. So anyway, when we got outside, gets to the car, Eddie's coming out, a bit away, and he's coming out with Teresa. And he waves, he said, I'll see you, Frank. I'll see you again, Eddie. I'll see you again, Tommy. And Aunt Francine just give me one of them looks, She said, "Oh, wait, Dad." I said, "What?" She said, "You've just called him Tommy and his name's Eddie." Great memory. I loved that. I loved Cheers, Ed. Cedric, love Frank, the jokesters in caps. It's easier to see, peeps. Yes, thank you. And Barry to the press the arrow twice. Press the arrows. I'm going to start this. There's that Toffee fella. Hello, hiya Toffee lad. Hope you're well. And Mr. B. Good evening, Franco. Stop it easy. Thanks, Barry. I'm always learning, even at 50, says the Bush Baptist. Right. I'll be able to, in caps, I'll be able to sit back because my neck goes. And then I'm in pain. Mr. B. Good evening, Frank Barry. Good evening, Mr. B. And Barry says to the Bush, "I'm 67 and I've given up." Lindsay, hello, Cedric. Mr. B, fear and control, the narrative, such a horrible time for lots of people, especially the elderly. Yes. And the Toffee says, "His profile picture, Frank." I don't know. When he said I'm a rare Toffee, a blue, I'm an Evertonian, he said I am. Look at his. Oh, I see. I see. I won't look. I can't see it. I can't see anyone's profile, Genuine. They're very small. I don't know what they are. It could be a lovely looking lady, and I could be calling her forever. I could, the profile's there. See what I mean? Scandemic, scaremongering, says Mr. Yes, it was a scamdemic. Good shout, that. Excellent shout. And Bush to the Mr. B, "You're right, this war in Iran is playing into the hands of control. Later this year, airplane travel will be massively controlled and generally day to day travel in cars." Yes, it's gone worse. Fucking hell, where am I? Sorry there. Look, and Johan says, "Frank, Michael Rashid used an AI to put you in a blue shirt. Remember when chatting with the names such as Slot, Nagelsmann, and Inzaghi infiltrated the chat on a footy night? He's Nagelman. Thank you, Johan. Thank you. So I'm in a fucking blue shirt. Jesus. The scandemic demonstrated how easy the government can manipulate absolutely. Care homes suffered massively. That's where the people were going to the care homes and people were dying. Fucking shocking. Talking to them through windows. Never forget that. And the bus says, who do you make me cross? Do you who make me cross lollipop ladies? Are you having that fight? Do you make me cross lollipop ladies? I don't understand that. Bush, mate, I'm sorry. I don't understand that. Well, lollipop ladies making you cross. I don't understand. Sorry, mate. Frank, can you tell us about the Titanic story which someone touched on last night? Or is it for another? The Titanic is an incredible story, actually, Brian. But I could just say one thing, and then it'll be I always leave something certain, very important, till the end, and then I explain, and then you'll understand about the whole of the conspiracy. You see, what is a conspiracy? What's the definition of a conspiracy? Well, I conspire to go in, finish here, and sit on the chair and watch the telly. That's my conspiracy. And when you get like a theory, it's like two people together and going, I'm sorry about this, Toffee lad, but two people saying we were fucking brilliant against Everton the other day. We ran them off the park. We were incredible, weren't we? Which is a big fucking lie. That's a conspiracy. Their theory is fucking gone up in smoke because we were dreadful. If you know what I mean. I'm just trying to put it nicely and easy, simple. My old mates, I think the general in the US should get the Nobel Peace Prize. He prevented Trump dropping a nuclear weapon on Iran. Well, he brought him back, didn't he? Because he was a yes man. He was a yes man. Trump has an eclipse. I'd like to know his IQ. I'd love to know his IQ. It must be very low to drop a nuclear bomb. It's not just a matter of dropping a bomb on a country and that's it. That country is devastated. There's what you call fallout. There's what you call winds that carry everything to wherever the wind takes it. He's pathetic. And he's got the people around him who are more pathetic. Yeah, on Saturday he wanted to drop it. Trump has now been denied having the nuclear codes. Yeah, because I said it ages ago that I would, I'd be afraid for him. Not afraid for him, I'm sorry. Afraid for the world. He's got an itchy finger, him. And with all the intrigue going on, especially behind closed doors, especially about the Epstein files, people can take their own lives because of things like that. I reckon he'd fucking take the Globe's lives, all of us. But at least you've got a general there who said no. He was a 3-star general, and he gave him a 4-star, another star, when he brought him back. And it was just as well he did bring him back because we wouldn't know what would have happened. And Bella, hello, Frank. This is Marcella. I'm just letting you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bella. Marcella. Marcella, please keep in touch, letting us know how she is, please. Please, Marcella. And Neil Purcell says, press the arrows twice. I didn't even see the Indians. Jesus. And Marcella's to the Toffee. Do you have your own YouTube called Toffee's TV? Marcella's asking you there. Track and trace. And no, he doesn't. He's saying it's a fella named Baz or someone. That's nice to acknowledge it anyway. Thank you. And Marcella says, I'm going to listen to Frank's show tonight on behalf of my mum. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. And you want Frank, every single business he owns has declared bankruptcy. How do you bankrupt a bloody casino? Low IQ moron. Yeah, he is a bankrupt, isn't he? Right, I'm going to start on this. I reckon that the whole Iran situation is a sidetrack to his nonce of a mate. Of course, I said that before, Mr. B. I said everything's a distraction, especially that, you know. The Epstein files. Because once... Right, I'll start on this anyway. And as I said, you've got to watch a film by the name of Kill the Messenger, Jeremy Renner. It's a fantastic film. It really is. Anyway, Jeremy plays a fella named Gary Webb, an investigative reporter. And it's a true story. Watch it. Watch it. And it's what people get up to. Really is. Right, so what am I going to talk about tonight? You've heard all this before, by the way. And it's one of those things that we could never forget. Even if you weren't born at the time, which lots of you weren't. And it happens on the 22nd of November, 1963, in Dallas. And that was the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And when you see footage of it, you just see all this black and white. But there was a fella with a cine camera. And he was standing on the knoll. And he was waiting for the thing to come around to film the president. He only had a little cine camera, coloured cine camera. Now, if you think that Lee Harvey Oswald shot him, no. And where does Jack Ruby fit into this? So you've got to ask yourself, who was behind it and why? Well, there's loads of reasons why, believe it or not. Lots of them. And one of them was the Cuban crisis. Now, you know, in the 50s, you had the McCarthy witch hunt for communists and communism. The Americans have always hated communism. Yet they've had, you know, as you know, and it's still going today, Nazi parties. And there are places where you see these, I have to say, white supremacists, you know, giving talks with a big Nazi flag behind them. And that's going on today. Yet they hated communism for some reason. And as you know, at the time as well, there was, even today, to be honest, there was terrible racism. And I mean bad racism. In the 50s, it was shocking. And when you get the likes of John F. Kennedy bringing into the White House Martin Luther King and these other, you know, people of color into the Oval Office, that upset a hell of a lot of Americans from every walk of life, by the way. Every walk of life. He was hated for that. Because he wanted to give them equality. And we all know what happened to Martin Luther King. A man who just preached peace in his speeches. Let's work together. Let's join hands together. That's all that he did. And then you have the Nikita Khrushchev thing. And Cuba. They were sending over missiles to Cuba. Missiles. Not nuclear missiles. And then, especially with it being a communist state, with Fidel Castro chasing Batista in 1959. And they hated him for that because he was a communist. So the Americans hated him. And they were saying, oh, if they get missiles, they're going to bomb us or send them into the country. This is a little island, by the way, Cuba. So he was hated for that. Especially talking to Nikita Khrushchev. And him and Khrushchev went, all right, we won't send them. We'll turn back. And then he said, we can do business together. And he even went to Germany, didn't he? He even went to Germany and he gave a big speech in Berlin. The west side of Berlin, the wall. And he's saying, one day we'll all be together and whatever. Ich bin Deutsch, he said. You know, I am German. But the thing is, you see, with Kennedy, he was hated in so many levels. And you've got to look also at J. Edgar Hoover. Hoover despised him. He despised him. And do you think JFK had something on Hoover? Yes. But he had something on him as well. With Marilyn Monroe. Or Monroe. So but anyway, you know, that's by the by. And he was trying to stop. You've got to understand this. I know so much about the mafia. I've read so much over the years about the mafia and their particular thing, their particular stance on the workforces. They rule the workforces, the mafia. If anything was going wrong, they'd stop the work. They would stop it. That's why you had the as enforcers going around, not just there in one particular place like New York, it's all over the country. So they had that against Kennedy, because what did he make his brother, Bobby, Attorney General? And he was all for the black community as well. He was all for getting rid of the mafia. Now, Sanji and Carlyle, he turned around and said, and here's what he said, I'm going to swear. He said, we fucking got them in. We fucking got them in. And they're turning their backs on us. That's what he said. That's what he said. So you had also Lyndon Baines Johnson. Lyndon Baines Johnson is not the man you think he is. He was one horrible man. He took bribes. They reckon that he was involved in a murder years before. And he was a very bitter man against Kennedy. And the turning point with him was this. You know that it's only 4 years, don't you? So then, in 1963, he said to Johnson, I'm not having you on the ticket, meaning you're not going to run with me. I'm looking at somebody else. And he took that badly. Not badly, bitterly. He was really bitter about it. So let's look at the assassination. Let's look at the assassination. When you look at it, you know, you have the CIA, don't you? They're always following in cars. But what you have them on the back. If it's an open top, you'd always have them on the back of the car. You'd always do. And look at that again. There's not one single agent on the back of the car. Not one. It's empty. Completely and utterly empty. And you can see two heads. One is JFK and the other is his wife, Jackie. Two heads. And in the front, you had the governor, the Texas governor. And he was in, along with the driver. So those two heads are at the back. So what you have now, how many shots were there? Well, they reckon that there was only one shot, and they call it the magic bullet from that window in that warehouse, the big warehouse. Now, to be a sniper, you've got to have a telescope and everything. You've got to be spot on. You've got to get everything right. Okay, so let's say it was fired, the shot. Let's say it was fired. Now, how many shots were known as? Well, witnesses who were standing on the grassy knoll, saying that they heard 3 more shots. So that was 4 shots. And one of them, this fella who I mentioned taking the cine camera, he was just, you see the shot penetrating his neck here and coming out the back. A shot, when you're shot, if it would have been Oswald shooting from that window, it would have gone down here and out here. But it didn't. This one shot went through there and out here. It's where it hit him first, because you see him going back as the shot hits him. He didn't go forward. Then there was another shot. You were making sure that he was dead. Okay, so now he's being assassinated. And the thing is, who killed him? Witnesses who were around at the time were being mysteriously killed. Mysteriously killed. There was a woman by the name of an investigative reporter, by the way, named Rose Grammy or something like that. And she was investigating. And she had lots of information about who killed. It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald, by the way. Don't forget what Lee Harvey Oswald said as well. Remember when he was coming out of a doorway with these detectives? And, reporters, the way they shout at what have you got to say? He says, I'm a patsy. Think about that. I'm a patsy. See? And then you have the witnesses who are being mysteriously killed. And I mean, killed. Witnesses who said, I had 4 shots or 2 shots or whatever. I seen a flash coming from the grassy knoll, and I turned around and I seen someone running away. They were dead. They were dead. They were killed. Why? A week later, you only had a week. You're at the Warren Commission. And they got this Warren in. Lyndon Baines Johnson. Sorted out now. No long investigation. A president's just been assassinated. Now the theory started to come about who assassinated him. And people were saying it was that Carlyle fella. He hated him. The mafia. But the CIA were involved with the mafia, Did you know that? They wanted them to go and kill Fidel Castro, but leave the government out of it. Leave the government out of it. he said. So they went, okay, we'll do him in for you, but we want money. And they asked for something like, I think it was $50 million. 50 million. Then, if you know what I mean. How much would it be worth today? So $50 million. And they wanted it up front. We want it up front. And we want you to leave us alone. And let's carry on with our own business. You know what I mean? Their business, the mafia business, that is. But we want you to leave us alone. That means leave the cappy de tutti cappy alone. The boss of all bosses, the main men. Instead of arresting them. So it goes on, this conspiracy theory. It really goes on. And then all of a sudden, a woman starts talking. And that woman is the mistress, believe it or not, of Lyndon Baines Johnson. And she said, which is right, by the way, when the soldiers were in Vietnam, Kennedy said, no, I'm getting them out now. I'll be getting them out. I'm going to promise the people when they do me next term, I'm getting them out. This can't go on. Now, Baines Johnson didn't like that. He said, no, keep them there. Why did they want to keep them there? Why did they want the Vietnamese to be in? Why did they want the Americans to be in Vietnam fighting the Vietnamese? Why? I'll tell you for why. It's only what's going on today. And that's the MIC, the military complex. The people who make guns and bombs and planes, and because they make more money out of wars. And that's going on today. And they were annoyed. And he was involved with them, Lyndon Baines Johnson. He was involved with them. And he was saying to him, you better tell him, you know, we did. He said, I can't. So there's only one way to stop this and to keep our soldiers there. And this is what this woman, this mistress, I forget her name, unfortunately. This is what this mistress was saying. And she came out with it all. On the 21st of November 1963, Lyndon Baines Johnson was with his mistress. And he said to her, tomorrow will be a great day because what's going to happen will be devastating throughout the world. I'm paraphrasing here, but I'll be so happy. I'll promise you tomorrow is a new world. After tomorrow, be a new world. And she left it at that. And what happened the next day? He was assassinated. Now, you've got to understand why Bobby Kennedy was also assassinated by a fella named Sirhan Sirhan. And what Sirhan Sirhan always said, I never done that. In Chicago. Because they said, if these Kennedys get in, they're going to dig deep. They're going to dig deep. Now, who are they digging deep with is the CIA. The CIA. Because they said that the CIA, again with Lyndon Baines Johnson, assassinated John F. Kennedy. It was Johnson. It was Johnson's green light to get rid of him. And the MI6 and the CIA. And let's blame everyone else. And you've got the likes of Harvey, I was going to say Harvey Lonsdale Elms, Lee Harvey Oswald. You've got Lee Harvey Oswald. And Lee Harvey Oswald came out and said, I'm a patsy. Then he was killed. Now, where does Jack Ruby fit into this? The CIA said to him, listen, we want you to do a job. And you'll be all right. You'll write your memoirs. You'll go to prison. We make sure that you'll go to prison for a very, very, very short time. You'll come out, write your memoirs, write your books, whatever you want to do. And you'll be a millionaire 10 times over. But don't worry, you'll be okay. Now, how come he just went into it, this like basement of this building? How come he just walked down and just shot him? You've got to ask yourself. You've got to ask yourself that. How come he can just stroll in, with a gun in his hands and shoot him? It was all planned. And then he started asking questions while he was in jail because he seemed forgotten. And then he started talking to some reporters and saying, hang on a minute, I want to make a couple of statements here. So what they were doing, and unbeknown to anybody outside the jail, he was being injected. They were giving him injections. They were putting him to sleep. And then it came out that he had cancer. And again, there's no more statements coming out from him. Even his lawyers couldn't go and see him. Or the journalists, for that matter. And more statements saying there's more to it than this. I'm not the only one involved in this. And that was the whole of the thing, the murder of, or the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Know what I mean? It was the wiser thing, not just him killing Oswald. He said it was a bigger thing and he wanted to get it off his chest. And that involved the CIA and also Lyndon Baines Johnson. So who killed JFK? Well, there was a meeting just before he was killed. And in that meeting, there was Lyndon Baines Johnson, J. Edgar Hoover, and Tricky Dicky Nixon. And Lyndon Baines Johnson then became president. And he escalated the war in Vietnam. And everybody was made up. especially the MI6. The military complexes who make all these bombs, the industrial complexes, like what's going on today. The more escalation, the more money they get. The more bribes they give to congressmen and senators, the more it goes on, the more escalation. And that's going on right now, today. Albeit that Lyndon Baines Johnson didn't pull the trigger. He hired a couple of fellas, well, one fella in particular, to do his dirty work. Former soldier, hitman, nothing to do with the mafia. Could have been him. But nevertheless, they reckoned that it was sharpshooters from the CIA who got the green light from these conspirators to do them in. And they done them in. And that's why they did the other fella in, because he was a dug deep. And I'm talking about Bobby Kennedy, Robert. He was a dug deep. They couldn't afford that. They couldn't afford for him to be scouring as president. And he was going to win it as well, by a landslide. So they needed him to do that. And when you see the assassination of him, and that Saran said, I never done that. He was actually shot from behind. Shocking. Bobby Kennedy. And what did they do to Teddy Kennedy at Chappaquiddick with Mary Jo Kopechne? They made sure that he couldn't go in for a presidency. They were getting rid of the whole of the Kennedy dynasty as leading politicians, especially American politicians. So this is what you have. So John F. Kennedy was assassinated by his own, a fella who stood next to Lyndon Baines Johnson, and a fella who was there to protect him, J. Edgar Hoover. And when Nixon retired, you know, he said, I'm not running for the second term of the presidency. Who ran? And it was none other than the other fella who was sitting in at the meeting, whom, by the way, Kennedy defeated, and that was Richard Nixon. And Richard Nixon couldn't say anything. He couldn't say nothing because he was under scrutiny every day. And it's like this fella today, Trump. He's under scrutiny. All the presidents from JFK have all bombed places for the MI6. Think about it. Every president, including this lunatic here today. So who runs the presidency? I said ages and ages ago, before all this Iran stuff and whatever, that the president is in a pyramid and the top is up here. And you go down that pyramid and he's in 7th place. He's taking the orders from the 6 that are above him. Different levels. Bink, 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 until you get to the top of the apex. Until you get to the top of the pyramid. And they are the deep state. And who's the deep state? Who are they fighting for? Who are they taking orders from? the deep state. Right at the top, the pinnacle, they're taking the orders from. Now think about it. Think about this. I'm not saying I'm not naming the thing, but why is the war in Iran going on? Who's organised it? It's not America, is it? So come to your own conclusions about that. Who run presidents? Every president. They couldn't run JFK, but they've run on since. From the likes of Baines Johnson, right up to Trump today. Remember when Obama got the presidency and everyone thought, even me, that he'd be a great president for the blacks. No. He's what you call a white black. Like that O.J. Simpson. He's a white black. Didn't want to know about the black population. And when they were all cheering for him and being made up that he got found not guilty, he never went into the black community, did he? To thank them. He just went in to the white community. But he was destroyed. He was destroyed. And he ended up in jail anyway, didn't he? For armed robbery. So, you see, the conspiracy theory, it's not a theory, actually. It's the truth. It's fact. And it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald. It wasn't him. There are too many things about the aftermath of the assassination, that is. But there's loads before the assassination as well. Lots. And one of the most important things, now don't forget the Cold War was going on at the time. And they didn't want anything at all to do with the Russians. Or the Soviet Union, as it was known then. They didn't want to know. And it's just like today, with the proxy war going on. Who's doing a proxy war? Let me guess. Oh, that's right, America. By allowing, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians killed every day. Every day. And all the narrative that Russia is evil and Russia is being defeated, it's a load of nonsense. Russia's easily winning. It's what you call an attrition war. War of attrition. Just allowing them to come on and they're sorting them out. But it's not, they're not just fighting Ukrainians, by the way. They're fighting Americans, they're fighting British, they're fighting Poles, they're fighting French. In other words, they're fighting everybody, including NATO. And they can't. That's why they're saying, aren't they, NATO's finished now. And that's the conspiracy theory. Let's see what you've been saying. I suppose you've been calling me for everything. Putin has Trump by the proverbials. He has evidence for sure of him, and that's no, I don't think he has. But everybody knows him about. Honestly, everyone knows about Epstein and Trump. Does anybody believe that Epstein's dead, by the way? Because I don't. He's living in Tel Aviv. Him. Frank, I've got to go, says Brian. I have to get Jaden from golf. He's turning 18 tomorrow and he will be turning pro. Good. In September. Thanks for the show, mate, and all the chat. Oh, cheers. Good luck. Good luck to Jaden as well. And being a pro golfer. 100% Frank says, Mr. B. Cheers, Mr. B. And Edward. Good actor, Jeremy Renner. He done well to come back from it. Yeah. Nearly killed him, didn't he? And his own driveway as well. I seen the mafia in brackets Chicago and Florida families done it. Again, it's all look. Giancarlo, Sam Giancarlo, he wanted them dead, by the way, because he said, "Look, what we got him," and he did, especially in Pennsylvania, because the mafia went down to Pennsylvania and said, "Listen, now these are." Remember when I said about every single. What was going on? All these industrial places, works everywhere, they were involved in. And they actually went down to Pennsylvania, big steel police, all big hardened fellas. And they said, you better vote for Kennedy. You better vote for him. If he fails, you fail as well. They would have closed everywhere down, the mafia. And the Kennedys knew this. And they even thanked them. They even thanked them, the mafia. And that's why they said, oh, you want to go after us, do you? You're ignoring us, are you? That's what they said. And then says, did you hear they tested a speck of blood off a chair that Hitler owned that revealed he had the genetic marker indicating he had a micro penis? Trump must have the same condition. I've only got, look, I've got my teeth missing, you see. Still got that missing. That's going to cost me £1,200 next month to get fixed. And I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? That's funny, though. By the way. The driver hit him with a bullet, says Brian. It's the fella on the glassy knoll. That's who got him. Buonasera, Franco and Go. Good to see you back, Johan. Hope you're well. Oh, that's lovely. From Toscana. I seen that. I seen he had backdoored the mafia, and that's why they done it, says Edward. Oh, yeah, he ignored them. He ignored them. But it's the CIA. They done it. They got the green light from who I mentioned. Hoover. Did you know Hoover was homosexual? And they had pictures of him. The Kennedys. With his lover. He was one of the directors of the FBI. Hoover, and Hoover hated gays. Strange, isn't it? Marcella, sorry to hear your news. Please give your mum my best wishes. I hope she's back home soon. Yes, and so say all of us. Marcella. Ali. Good evening. Hiya, Ali. Ali's been listening to all the football pods, and he doesn't know the news, does he? I've stopped reading anything about Slot. It's clickbait. Good shout, don't shout. And Marcella to Tosca. Mums haven't. Oh, she's having an operation to remove some. Oh, so they don't say. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, please, Marcella, give her everyone's love. Oh. JFK didn't want Israel to have a nuclear weapon. Oh no, well that was another thing. Hoffa was big in the unions, and do you know where he's holding up a motorway? Jimmy Hoffa, Edward. And Mr. B. I wish your mum a speedy recovery. Oh, that's lovely, though. Thanks, people, for mentioning Bella. She's a lovely lady. Italian lady, by the way. And Brian, there was a show on a few years ago back with just a medical team from the day. Unreal. It was an agent. An agent asked one of them, "Did you get the bullet?" And she said, "No, it's plural, bullets," she was told. Exactly, not one bullet. Thank you, says Bella to Mr. B. Mr. B. And the poet. Good to see you, poet. Cuba was the Epstein Islands of the 1940s and 50s, where American elites went to get their kicks. Goodness knows how many young Cuban girls Fidel Castro and Che Guevara saved. Yes, that's it. Thank you, poet Dorothy Kilgallen, the investigative reporter. Thank you. Forgot her name. They done her in. They done her in. CIA. You've got to watch that film. You've got to watch that film. Kill the Messenger, Jeremy Renner. It's brilliant. Marcella, it's best to be safe. Yeah, it is. It is. And Johan says, JFK also wanted the American Zionist Council, now known as AIPAC, to be registered as a foreign aid, an NGO. And Jack Ruby's real name was Jacob Rubenstein. It's like Gal Gadot, isn't it? Their name's Greenstein. Gal Greenstein. Former IDF soldier who was on duty, on active service in Lebanon. Think about that. Just signing in, Frank. Sorry I'm late, says Rapat. Oh, you've missed it. Missed it, mate. Missed everything. It was great. It was great. It's the best show ever. Evening Gold season of Path. In Eisenhower's farewell address, he warned the US electorate about the MIC. Yeah, he did. They run. And man's not a bot. Careful, Frank. Don't we dare question stroke be racist to the common denominator. Also, if they has anything on Trump, they would have played that card by now, in my opinion. Yes. Epstein didn't kill himself. He's alive. They don't kill. They do not kill. They don't. He's alive. I'm telling you now. That's why Ghislaine has been, moved to a nice little prison. She'll be gone soon. Not dead, but gone. And where's she going to go to? Israel. Because she's a little tiny hat, isn't she? The little lat's mob sub contracted and authorised the JFK job to the Italian mob. The little lads make the decisions, but don't get their hands dirty. But they're getting dirty now, though, aren't they? Rapat. Everyone's finding out about them, especially over Gaza and Iran as well. And Stephen, I stay. Good evening, Frank, for this Tuesday evening. Hope you're well, my friend. You'll never walk alone. Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you. And you went Stormy Daniels. Stormy. The adult actress Trump had an affair with said that his manhood resembled oh, jeez. Resembled a mush. You can't make these things up. Stormy Daniels. Mushroom. And Stephen says, looks like we're going to be stuck with slop for the next season. It's grim on all rebels. Hearing the news is bad news for us all. That want him out, says Stephen. Don't worry, he's going. I've done all that before at the beginning, Stephen. You've been listening to too many podcasts instead of this one. I've done it all. Take no notice. God bless your mum, Bella, says Brian. Thank you, Brian, for that, mate. She needs all the love and prayers and everything. Donald Trump is septic. Yep. He is. Dangerous as well. I rewatched the conspiracy theories I miss. It's comforting to know other people have uncovered the same info I have. Gal Gadot, Jack Rubenstein, as you said. Yes. And you've only got to look at that Facebook thing and all they're doing with Gal Gadot is just bulling her up, bigging her up. Because it's run by the tiny hats, isn't it? The path, yes, they didn't get their hands dirty because of this. Everyone sees who they really are in the light of day. No honour in the wars they wage. No humanity in their souls. Great comments. Whoa, brilliant. And Phil, Maxwell has already left. Oh, go away. Go away. The not so look alike. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Who stood in for her in recent video. It was laughable. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Forgot about that. Forgot all about that. He's not dead. I'm telling you now. That's why Iran had always sending missiles over to Tel Aviv. That's where he is. Do you know, have you all heard about the, I won't go into detail now, but have you all heard about the Titanic? And the mystery surrounding that? I'm going to get Jason, I hope, hopefully, to show a little bit of film. But it's a certain piece of film. And I'll do that. I'll do the Titanic. It's more in depth, by the way, on Friday night. If you join me, I'll do it. It's incredible. It's incredible. And how people work. And how people were threatened. It's shocking. And it cost the life of 1,300 people. It really is bad. And there's no accountability. None whatsoever. And Stephen says, Andy Burnham stirring up hate against the far right and doesn't live in the real world after his speech last week. I don't listen to him. I don't listen to Andy Burnham. Don't listen to any of them anymore. I'm being honest with you. This country's gone to the dogs. Someone said it's going to the dogs and it's being destroyed. No, it is destroyed and it's gone to the dogs. Oh, I seen something about Birmingham. I don't know whether it was the weekend. And it was frightening. And even people, I was reading the comments saying, this is shocking. This is absolutely dreadful what we're living here. And loads of them said we're leaving Birmingham. Now I wonder why. It's like me. I'm in constant pain, believe it or not. Constant. And I'm not just saying that. And I have to wait for a spinal operation. But I've been put back because there's people being first priority. And who are the people? Think about that. The people are these people who come in illegally. And I have to wait. And I'm in chronic pain. I have to take pain relief things. I really do. And it wears off me. And I'm just sitting here. I don't mean, here now talking to you, but I just go through a terrible pain. Terrible, terrible pain. From here to my arms. I can't put my arms to the back of my head. And everything stems from my neck. And that's what really needs to be operated on. And they've told me that. But I've got to wait for this top surgeon. But he's doing other work around the country. Especially down south, where most people are. Of these people coming in. I live a bit, because even Frank Reds and lovely chatters. Hope everyone is well and happy. Yeah, we're all happy. We've been talking to Robbie Fowler before. He was sitting in here live, and he's a lovely fella, to be honest. And we were talking about his career, known as the Spice Boys, and what they got up to, the clubs and what it was like to play for Liverpool. He said it was unbelievable. He said, albeit that I was growing up as a little Evertonian, he said I just blended into the Liverpool way, the Reds way. Everyone will tell you. And Stephen says, in some areas of Birmingham, there's no zoo. I understand that. No-go areas, isn't it? In Birmingham, the place is dirty as the place is bin bag city by dumping rubbish in most places with fly tipping. Is bad news. Yeah, it's shocking. It's shocking. Really is. But it's not just here. I'm sorry. It's not just here in Birmingham. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, unfortunately. So I'm going to ask you now, do you want me to do this on Friday? I'm doing a football show on Thursday. I can't change the schedule. So do you fancy that football show Thursday? As I said, do you fancy doing the Titanic? Because the Titanic, honestly, it's surprising what has happened. It really is. And I'm not just saying that. When the story comes out, it's incredible. Always go past this thing. And the poet says, look forward to that Friday. Thank you. Johan, aye. And the Pat says, keep in mind Birmingham is so dirty because the council tried to cut the bin collectors' money and they are striking. I'll never scab against my fellow men striking. No. No. And Ali says, the ones who lead everything force the EU to adopt a lefty policy. So this can destroy it. Everything about our culture, history, race, they fight against the far right because they know they can lose. Yep. But once Orban becomes he's going to defeat von der Leyen. Telling you now. And you've got Bulgaria now, haven't you? They've come in. The EU thought that they had Hungary by the proverbials, as Brian said, but they haven't, and they're sick over it. Sounds like I missed a good one, says the live bit. Being on the phone with one of my sons as we may move back to Greece. Oh, behave yourself. All the time, listen to this live bit. The Greeks have been told, don't leave Greece without buying homes. Think about that. The tiny act's been told. And that's the same in Cyprus as well. I used to like the Greek islands. Been to Rhodes, Corfu, Kos. I forget the other place, you know, where I went. Enjoyed it. But Italy's my place. Now, if you would have gone back to Italy, say like Italy, instead of just flying a bit further southeast, and you said you get a house, and I'd have gone over. I'd have gone with you to Italy. And the report says the Titanic, or maybe not, have been carrying some influential people. I'll not spoil the plot. I'll be watching. Thank you, report. Thank you. Thank you. That's good, that, what you just said. And Phil says, Frank, the agreements that were agreed and operating since Brexit would blow people's brains if they understood the abuse of. It was set up as if we never left and very easy to revert to EU again. That's what they're doing now. That's what Starmer's doing. They're in negotiations now. Do you know that? And the bird to you still travel? Yeah, he's going to Greece next week. Mass immigration isn't traditionally a left-wing policy. No, it isn't, poets. It's not. As I said, the Americans wanted to destabilize the Middle East so that they could destabilize Europe, and they've done it. And the Pat says, it saddens me. People use the word left as a prerogative. That you're right. Whereas our city was a proud left city, not a party left, a real left. the many standing up for each other. NHS, unions, employment, welfare, yes. Thumbs up for that, the Pat. Great shout. And Steve Coughlin still buzzing over our win against Little Everton on Sunday. It was fantastic. Winning in there, shiny, brand new stadium at the old Dick. I forget what someone says, you know, about Hickory Dickory Dock. That's what they fucking hell. And Phil says, problem is that people are not allowed to be centre. I don't know what centre is anymore, though. Can anyone tell me? Look, all as I know is that Liverpool has always been a socialist city. My children are Greek, and we have a small farm in Thessalia. Is that by Thessalonica? When I was in, where was I? I've got to be right on this. I was in Rhodes. And was it Rhodes I was staying in? Yeah, I was in Rhodes, and I was stayed in a place called Pefkos. When I used to go for a drink and that, or go down the beach and come back, there was like a straw hut, and it was great. There was two young lads from Thessalonica. Used to chat to them. That's when I was with. That's when I had a partner anyway, and used to chat to them. And we used to get a cracking, I forget what it was, like a hamburger sort of thing. It was brilliant. We used to congratulate them all the time on this particular little thing. We used to always go there. And the Rhodesians, the Rhodes people, chased them. They chased them off the island. These two young lads from Thessalonica. Because it just gone, all is the same, was straw on the floor, like bamboo, whatever it was. And we thought that it was a big wind or something that came during the night and blew it away. It wasn't. People just, young people just get rid of them and just smashed it up. Just laying on the floor, and they'd gone. Shocking. Felt sorry for them, live a bit. OSA prevents disclosure. It's everybody prevents disclosure. As it says, watch a film called Kill the Messenger. Jeremy Renner. It's absolutely wonderful. True story. The owner class, says the poet, want to be, hang on. The owner class wants 100 people competing for each job. Old schooled leftists want 100 jobs for every worker. The exact opposite of mass immigration. New Labour aren't a left-wing party. No, they're not. They've gone. They've gone. That's why I never... That's why I've never... I never voted the last election, put it that way. I'll just say it. I was so dismayed, so disheartened. I never voted for the first time since I was 18 years of age. I've never voted. And I always voted Labour anyway. But the Labour today is nothing like I used to vote for. And Johan to the Liverbird. Yes, Liverbird, I'm in Carlyle. And I was on a beautiful houseboat for 2 days. Where's you now? Hey. For 2 days. Beautiful, serene, and no internet. Distractions. As soon as I log in, I see Frank worrying about me being tiger prey. And Yeti leftovers as well, don't forget. Those big pesky Yetis. And Stephen says, get it right, Keir Starmer. Oh, I can't say that word. As he should resign for the good of the country after the Mandelson fiasco. Good shout. Excuse me. Very disappointing, says Stephen Coughlin, with Labour. Since they have been in power, it's bad news as they have failed the British people. And getting back to the Liverbirds, I don't blame you, going back to Greece. I really don't. You get looked after over there. But watch out for the tiny hats. You could be overrun and could end up like Lebanon and Gaza. This is what they want. They want to chase off all the locals, just like the Palestinians, chase them. All the Lebanese chase them. Shocking what they do. They want to do it to Jordan as well. This is the way the world's going. But we'll talk about more on Friday when I'll be doing the Titanic and then do that. What's happening in the Middle East. Did I read that? Yeah, they failed the British people, says Stephen. Yes. But it's shocking what we're going through. Look at that. I've got to pay 1,200 quid for that. That's it. It's not too hard like that, is it? Fucking suit, 1,200 quid. Labour does not represent the real left, says Johan. No, of course it doesn't, Johan. Sad to see the NHS is, and soon will be privatised. Excuse me. With the way things are going, it's bad news. Stephen, I've just said, look, that suit is going to cost me because I haven't got a dentist. They don't do NHS patients any longer. And that's going to cost me 1,200 quid. Now, remember when I had my operation and I said that, I was dead, to be honest. And they stuffed this thing in my mouth to operate on me. An emergency operation. And whatever they put in, loosened my tooth from the root. Hang on. right on, front molar. And anyway, they loosened the tooth from the root. And after a few months, I felt it out. So my tooth's loose. And then, bang, it just fell out. And I went to the dentist, and that cost me 700 plus. And I thought it'll be the same, but it's not. It's 1,200 this time. So in two teeth, that wasn't my fault that, came out. It's costing me like $2,000. $2,000. Could have gone to Turkey, got a full mouth for that, couldn't I? On a holiday. It's ridiculous. And the Tories knew they couldn't win an election on ideas, but they could co-opt the left and make it fight itself constantly. It is true, Frank. Maggie Thatcher said the best thing she gave the UK was Tony Blair to destroy us. I always remember talking to a mate of mine. This is through this. And I said, he's younger than me. And I said, who's the best Prime Minister that you've worked under? Now, he started first working under Thatcher. And then you move on, obviously right through, right up to this divvy, Starmer. I said, who is the... Now, he's a hardened socialist like myself. And I said, who's the best? And he said, have I got to say it? I said, yeah. And he said, Tony Blair. Think about that. Tony Blair. And he was right. But Tony Blair's legacy, unfortunately, was who? I've lost it again. Oh, fucking hell. Excuse me. And the poet says, Starmer and Cooper are trying to turn us into a Stasi era East Germany, getting rid of trial by jury after 800 years, labelling 80-year-old ladies terrorists, complicit in genocide, etc., etc. Yes. Great shout. And Yvette Cooper's husband is that Ed Balls. And the passage, the NHS was the best health service in the world in 2010. 10 years of the Tories, both dismantling and propaganda. Now it's on its ass. Don't let it slip. If it was crap, every company wouldn't want it. That's right. But in his first term, he said, I want this NHS gone. And that was Trump. He said, I'll buy that off. These British people have to pay, like us Americans. They have to get insured. You can't be given anything free. Don't forget that they're pharmaceuticals. Big Pharma, they want to rule us. They want to rule us. Keir Starmer as a dictator, says Stephen. So we are screwed over. So the NHS dentistry in this country is bad news for not taking on NHS patients, saying most have gone private over the years. Yeah. But there are still, people dentists who take NHS patients. But would you get the same if I went into a dentist and said, like, I want this screwed in? Do you think they do it for nothing? They might just say, no, we can't do that. We'll give you one of those like false tooth, teeth that you just stick in. You've got a palate. I don't want fucking one of them. Would they give you that? I doubt it. So you'd have to pay one way or the other. And Stephen says, would love to see Keir Starmer resign, though, and call an early election, which the country needs. But who are you going to get in? You're not going to vote for that reform, are you, or the other? I was looking at on YouTube. Oh, my knee. Fucking hell. I put all my weight on my left-hand side, you see, and my knee's gone. Anyway, I was looking at that Jim Davidson, you know him, today. And do you know who his hero is? What's his fucking name? Oh, what's his name? He's in that reform thing. It's not Farage. That other big dope who used to be a Tory. Horrible. You know the fella who said, I can get a meal for it. Like, he wanted us, people who are on benefits, for example, and even pensioners. Oh, you can get a meal for 30p. Remember him? Is it Les someone? Forget his name. That's his fucking mate. Not his mate, his hero. Seen him today. Hasn't he? And Phil says, Starmer can't resign. Not in the EU members. No. That's what he wants. That's him. Tony Blair brought in a new Labour estranged the original left. We had alienated them. That was by accident, says Rapath. Yes, that's him. Poet. Thank you, Anderson. That's his fucking mate. That's not his mate. His hero. His hero. I couldn't fucking believe it. Well, he's an out-and-out Tory, isn't he? His soft lad. Jim do. Do you know the train robbers? Right. Did you know that he was, I think he was hiring these fellas to go and get that Ronnie Biggs. That's what kind of a fella he is, Davidson. And he doesn't like us Scousers. He says jokes about them. He goes, I like Scousers. Fucking horrible prick. And the part Trump said he wanted it gone as the political conversation in the US was Medicare for all. Big tall in the US politicians' side that their people pointed at us and said, look at the UK, it can be done. Yes. But we get lots of pharmaceuticals from them, very cheap. And that's why he said, I want it gone. We shouldn't be giving them any sending them over any drugs. No. You just send us all the fucking immigrants instead, don't you? Illegal, I'm talking about. That's what you wanted to do, and you fucking done it throughout Europe. The part, as I said, when I seen US constantly bringing up the UK NHS that they would come for hours before they fixed theirs. Yeah, that's Trump. Trump said it. Never forget that in his first term. Remember looking at him while he was saying it. The whole political class is rotten to the core, says the poet. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And Phil says, Starmer cannot resign. No war declaration versus Russia yet. Imagine us going to war with Russia. Or any of the fucking European countries. Have you seen the news about RFK, JR, and the raccoon? No. No, Johan. Robert Kennedy. No. The junior, RFK Jr. and the raccoon. Isn't he? Oh, no, that's young John, isn't it? He's dead. I think he was fucking murdered, him. No, I haven't, Johan. That'll be good, though. And the poets, Davidson, typical cap doffin, God bless the Queen, mum, southern working class Tory grovelling bastard. I remember him in a show. I was just watching it on the chair. I forget what I was watching. I don't know what it was, a documentary about. And he was calling us scousers forever. Calling us dirty. Only they need a good washing and all this. And, you know, they've got nothing. Whatever. And then he said, and he went, oh, but I like the scousers, you know. They're good. They can take all this. Has he ever been to Liverpool? Do you think he'd sell out a concert here? And Phil says, war will be under NATO. US distance themselves from NATO is BS. Of course it is. As to allow the culpable deniability. If a nuclear war in Europe, it's a win-win for the Americans. Look, I'm telling you now, if you think that Russia, I forget what they're called. It's not the KGB, it's I forget what it's called. SB, no. But they're the most intelligent of intelligence agencies. They're not stupid. Imagine if a nuclear war does start in Europe. I'll guarantee you now that 1,000 fucking nuclear missiles will be aimed at America because they know that they have started it. That's them. That's them. I love this. FSB, yes. Brilliant. My abbreviations are terrible. And Peter says Spatsnet, they're brilliant, them. They are brilliant, Spatzner. And I was looking at something. I'm going back 2 or 3 months ago, and Spatzner are under orders to get the people in Ukraine the ones they want, and that includes the little green goblin, Zelensky. That's their job, and they will get him. They will have him. Thanks for that, Peter. Spatzner. Brilliant they are. Absolutely brilliant. I think Jim Davidson was once in a panto in Liverpool. Go away. He must have been fucking dressed up that he wasn't noticeable. And Johan says, RFK Jr. is the current health secretary under Trump. Go away. The guy with the weird voice. Apparently, he stopped a road trip with his family to chop off the go away. The penis off the raccoon to study. Go away. To know about that. Jesus. And Phil says, I hope they get that little bastard. Oh, not kidding. That's mad, that. Obviously, the raccoon's dead then, isn't it? Fucking shame, though. And Ollie says, why from all the Ukrainian people, one Jew lead the country? He is there, the same as Ursula or Mert says. Nobody want them there, but they all were planted there. Yes. Macron, Ursula, Mert and others. You're right there, Ali. Of course they were. They're unelected. Well, you know, especially in the EU. I'm not talking about Merz, that tip, or Macron, but they were put there by the WEF. That's who they put. Unelected scumbags there in the EU. Russia saved the world from fascism. And Western elites have never forgiven them, says the... Yes. Well, you've only got to look at von der Leyen and look at her background. Nazism. You know, family backgrounds I'm talking about. And you've only got to look at Kaya Kallas as well, that prick. And her background, and mates. And his fucking granddad, dad, family... Granddad, all fucking Nazi officers. So yeah, absolutely. And Phil says, if the raccoon isn't dead, he is not very happy. And also, it's a funny. Stop it. Fucking hell. Can you imagine a raccoon running around with a funny voice? Oh, that's mad. And Stephen says, most Southerners don't like us, Scousers anyway, especially down south. So Jim Davidson is a bit controversial with his content. Just a Cockney snob. No, that's knob, not a snob. Ed, not just a Cockney knobhead who speaks a bit of yes. And Phil says, Frankie, you all right? And MI6 said, got a head like honestly, I looked like just reminded me, when my hair was all over the fucking place. What's his name? I just anyway. What Ken's up, by the way? Apparently, people in Appalachia used the raccoon pie bone, used the raccoon PA bone, penis bone, as a lucky. Oh, go away. Apparently, people in the Appalachia used the raccoon penis bone as a lucky. MI6 Nazi. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And even Frank, you are right on the MI6 said, yeah. Her granddad was known as the butcher of Ukraine, that woman. And she's the head of MI6. The butcher of Ukraine, her granddad. Killing hundreds of thousands of people. And she's our fucking head. It's shocking. Fucking horrible. And Stephen says, same with Katie Hopkins. Same with Katie Hopkins. She's a bit mad woman with witty content. Always having a go at someone as she rambles pure crap out of her backside at times. Just Katie Hopkins. Yeah, she does have a go though, doesn't she? Have you ever seen that pie fella? I forget his first name. He's brilliant. He's pretending to do the new, outside broadcast, like saying, yeah, well, they chopped down the trees and they're just going to, clear it up now. So it'll be more movement for the traffic, and just stops and goes, have we stopped now? Yep. And then just goes on. He's brilliant. Don't half like him. I've got a fucking clue who he is, like, but I think you know who I mean. And Ollie says, so Germany have Alice Weidel. Yes, she's good, Weidel. France have Bardella. I don't know what to say about the UK. It seems they lead the UK the most. Portugal is gone. Spain is gone. Italy gone. It's kind of over, Frank. Kalergi plan. I think that Alice Friedel's good. Maloney, she's just fucking got fed up with everything. Oh, fucking time as well. Appalachia, where men are men and raccoons are. Jonathan Pye, that's him. He's brilliant. That's him. That's the man, Jonathan Pye. Thank you. Thank you, poet. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, mate. He's absolutely brilliant, that man. And he's got a lot to say, hasn't he, as well? Fucking head. I look like Michael Heseltine, almost. You know, he's all out here and should have worn my cap. Okay, now. And Ali says, in Romania, don't forget Ali's from Romania. Still there, by the way. The party who led Romania and destroyed it are almost gone. Now the ones who lead it are looking for votes from the Patriots. Sounds nice, but I don't know. See, that's what I mean about people, Ali. What it is, when people are looking at politicians and the politics that they brought to the country, you begin to question. You know, like you said, with a new party coming in and wanting to get rid of the old regimes, you don't know whether to believe them or not, because they might end up like them. Puppets. So I understand what your concerns are. I understand your concerns, Ali. And your answer is Tom Walker is the comedian that plays Jonathan Pye. Oh, right, is it? Blimey. I thought it was just Jonathan Pye. Shucks what I know. But I caught him. Well, he's brilliant. I thought he was absolutely hilarious. The most unpopular leaders in Germany, France, UK, says Phil, but they don't give a damn. They are gaslighting their populations. BlackRock, Rothschilds, and City of London, MI6. Yes. As soon as Starmer got in, the first people he invited in was BlackRock. Sickening, isn't it? Really is. And Stephen says, besides Jim Davidson, I can't stand watching Jimmy Carr. Oh, I don't watch anything he's on, and he hates us as well. There's an Indian lad, and he was on the Jonathan Ross show, and Stephen Graham was on. And this I don't know his name. He's a comedian, an Indian lad, and he was saying, well, he's always said bad things about Liverpool, you know, Scousers and that. And Stephen Graham has a go at him, and he tries to, well, I don't care much for Stephen Graham, I'm being honest, because I know him. And once you start flirting with the Sun newspaper, that's it with me. You're fucking gone. You're gone. Just like John Barnes. Gone for me. You know, Barnes is a great, it's great for us, footballing wise, brilliant. Stephen Graham, one of the, you know, top actors from Liverpool, fucking gone. Flirting with the Sun. To promote a film he was in, he's fucking standing. And I know quite a few lads from the entertainment business, writers especially, who fucked him off. For that. Stephen Graham. One day an old man was flying Near him, a guy with a parachute was flying and asked the old man, "Hello, are you from our club?" The old guy says, "No, I'm from the gas station." Is that a joke? Is that a Romanian joke? No, from the gas station. Fucking hell. And Stephen Glock. England's getting worse and worse with all this migrant fiasco. When the French government do fuck all, especially by letting them boats go across the English Channel. You can't blame the French, though, really. I'm not being funny. Honestly, what are they going to fucking do with them? The French? They're all coming here for a reason. And it's like me waiting for a spinal operation. That's what they're coming here for. And you want to Stable Holland. Pretentious prat, isn't he? Jimmy Carr. He's horrible, Johan. He's horrible, mate. And Phil says, then they made a rule that 20% of private pension funds must be used in government projects. If these were a good idea, the fund managers would already be into them. Yes. And the poet says, Frank, did 16 fellas get shot by the army in Vauxhall Road around the time of the First World War? I think 2 died. Yeah. What has happened, one was shot dead in Upwood Street, which is between Scotland Road and Vauxhall Road. And I forget where the other fellow was shot, but it was around the same area. And that was in the 1911 general strike, when Churchill sent 2 frigates to the Mersey when they had the guns on the city. Credit's guns. He also sent up 50,000 armed troops. Now, he was the first Sea Lord at the time, Churchill. And then he sent up... see, our bobbies, our policemen, you know, the government said, listen, you better get into these strikers. And he said, we can't. This isn't going to last, and we're going to be the worst in the world if we go into our own. And here's what happened. They sent up 6,000 police from Birmingham and Leeds. They sent into the city. And they were just batting charging and everything, you know, else that they do, that the police do, the law enforcement. Just chasing everyone. If they see like a little crowd being moved, they were right in and fucking batting charging them. These big bobbies from Birmingham and Leeds. And the government never forgets. And they said to the bobbies, you know, when we said, no, we're not going in. And after the First World War, they sacked every policeman. Liverpool didn't become, like, all of a sudden lawless because they already had police in, you know, already here. But they sacked every policeman. Government. Just love us scouts or something. You're right there, though. 2 died there. That was the 1911 general strike. Notice all the posh knob comedians get the most of TV time. So, yeah. And Ali, in Romania, the Jew who led us to try to remain try to remove, I'm sorry there. In Romania, the Jew who led us tried to remove the statues of the ones who tried to defend Romania from the invasions. Unbelievable. That's the way it is. I'm going to end now, people. Thank you. I'll be off tomorrow. I'm not having a show, but I will be back on Thursday with a football show. Hope you can join me then. Hope my fucking hair's a bit better as well. And Friday will be the Titanic and more or less the same of Trump, Ukraine, Zelensky, Putin, Iran, Che Guevara, Cuba. Fuck. Sorry about this. I always go. Johan says to the Ali, have you seen Soros' son praising the ousting of Orban? He said Russians go home, Hungarians come home on Twitter. No, but I think Soros, one of the worst fucking human beings on the planet. But having said that, he's not going to, the new president. It's a big ploy. They really thought that they were going to get the money to the Ukraine and, these billions, which is laundered back to them, as you know. We're not fucking stupid. But he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. And I forget his name anyway, Magyar, and he wants Orban to become leader of the EU. And we shall see how it goes. Just horrible, these people. Hate Russians, Russophobes. And Paul says, fair dues, mate, this city like no one else. A walking fountain of Scots knowledge. Cheers, Paul. And Stephen says, Leicester City, the Foxes have had back-to-back relegation by getting relegated from the Championship. Go away, have they gone down? Fucking hell. Leicester. Like Frank in there, thanks, mate, says the poet. Thank you, poet. I was just thinking there about what Stephen Cloughlin said. They had the likes of that Maddison, didn't they? And Vardy and, good players. And under Ranieri, they won the fucking league. Sacked him. Ali to But there is no other bigger patriots than Hungarians. Peter Magyar already said that he hopes that Orban will replace Ursula at the EU. I can't see Hungarians sell their cut. No, you're right. You're bang on there. Ali, good man. And my old mate, Johan. Take care, Frank. See you on Thursday, unless I get mauled by a... That is. Smash the likes on the way out, legends. Mauled. Mauled. Great to see you back again, Johan, mate. Really is. Well, I really was worried. Few of us were, by the way, worrying about you. Because we never seen you. Magyar in Romanians means Hungarian. Yeah, Magyar. That's what they, yeah. In Romania, we have like 4 million of Hungarians. I am quarter Hungarian as well. Magyar can be even more hard to wear. Even more hard to wear. That Orban. He is not a puppet. Absolutely, he isn't. Well said. Well said, Ali. Frank, don't want to be a party pooper, but Cuba will be a breeze for us. The revolutionaries are all dead or too old. Do you mean for the US? Yeah. Yeah. They're all dead or too old. Young people just want a better life. They are tired of what... Yeah. You're right. It's like anything else. They've been sanctioned for fucking years. Ever since 1959 and the fall of Batista. They've been sanctioned. And it's shocking. And the young people are fed up. But, you know, Cuba's going to become another part of American empire. That's all. But who's helping them out now is Russia. Giving them fucking oil and food. Fucking shocking. So peace out, Frank and chatters. Stay safe and talk soon, dudes. You'll never walk alone. JFT 97. Thanks, Stephen. Even if everybody talks about Magyar is not stupid, one Romanian ex-president said that Magyar is a little Orban. Even more crazy, it means, is good. Yes. I seen him on a TV interview with these, people, and he really give it to them good style. Hope so. Was in Hungary last year, says Phil. Was you? Budapest. And I read a little of whatever that is, wrote by the Carlyle. If you read that book, you will find exactly what's happening now in Europe, destroying everything European by neo-Marxism. It's being destroyed. It's not being destroyed. It is destroyed. And every empire lashes out before they fall. We are witnessing the ends of the American empire. Yet the de-dollarization, isn't it? They fucked everything up for themselves. And Stephen, onslaught out now. Repeat, onslaught out now. Good night. God bless everyone. You never walk alone. There is no doubt in my mind, in Europe, now is a semi-communism regime based on mass migration and neo-Marxism. That's the way to destroy a continent. It's already fucking destroyed, Ali. And Phil says, Frank, have a good rest tonight. And you've got one. Tie a raccoon's penis around you. Will it cure? Will it kill or cure? I'll stick it there. And he took my crop. Fucking these raccoons are all over. Anyway, people, it's been brilliant. You've been good tonight. So funny as well. Thanks for the raccoons. Jim Davidson. Fucking hell. What we go through on these bloody streams. So on that note, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. And Stephen Holland. I've seen a report by Shea Bowes about Budapest and it looked like Dale Street. He's good, that Shea Bowes, isn't he? The Irish lad. He's good. Much love, Franco. And chat, says Ali. Thanks, Ali. Same back, mate. Good night to all. And Phil. Great show and good night to everyone. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. Okay, now. I fucking got you, somebody. Right. Stephen Allen said, Ali to stay. Budapest is the most beautiful city in Europe. Well, it's two, isn't it? It's Buda and Pest. Because a river splits it, doesn't it? The river. Budapest. And Marcella. Good night, Frank. Marcella, please give my love, personal love to your mum, please. Please do that for me and let me know. Is that okay that you have done that? And for a speedy recovery. And tell her she's well loved by every chat on here. All the chatters. And Steve Coughlin. Good night. Don't let the blue bite. See you soon, everyone. Peace. And Johan says, Bose was on the flotilla. I didn't know that. Was that little Greta thumbnail? I didn't know that he was on the flotilla. Thanks for that, Johan. Glad to know that about Shea Bowes. And on that note, I've got to go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Frank has got to go. Fucking hell. If I can go. And to our wonderful lady, Shividiamo. Grazie mille. Ciao. Fucking